Hi, boys and girls. So, Mrs. Foreman would like to share with you a song that we do in my classroom before we start our reading for the day. So, I'm going to teach it to you, and I have an awful voice, so bear with me. Let's read a story, a story, a story. Let's read a story you should know. Put one hand up, then the other. Mix around your bowl. Shh, it's time to read. Now off to the story we go. Now, we'll repeat that 2 times and then we start our story. Okay, so one more time. Let's read a story, a story, a story. Let's read a story you should know. Put one hand up, then the other. Mix around your bowl. Shh, it's time to read. Now off to the story we go. So, today's story is going to be Lilly, Bear, and Grumpy Feet. But before we get started, let's talk about our book. With every book, we have a front cover. That's what this is up here. We have a spine. And we have a back cover. On the inside of the book, here's a page that looks almost like the front, doesn't it? But what's on this page is important. This is called the title page, and it tells us the title of the book, the author, and sometimes the illustrator who draws the pictures, and then it also tells us who published the book. That's the person that made the book go around the world so we can buy it in all of the stores. So they're important too. But let's look up here. Do you see this? Lilly and Bear, Grumpy Feet. What is this? That's the title. Now what about down here? It has another person's name. That says Lisa Stubbs. Lisa Stubbs is actually the author, the person that wrote the book. She wrote all the words. And she's also the person who did all of the illustrations. That means that she drew Grumpy Bear and Lilly. She drew them and she colored them really nice. So these are the important parts of our book. Now, let's read a story. Thank you for listening. Lilly and Bear, Grumpy Feet. Lilly loved to draw, but today something felt different. Things felt a little frumpy and bumpy, just not so and not quite right. The day was too rainy. The teapot was too dribbly, and the sunshine color was missing. Lily's pencils were too pointy, her paint too sloshy, and her crayons too stubby. Everything felt grouchy and mouchy, out of sorts and discombobbled, until Lilly drew. What did she draw? It says Bear. She drew Bear. But she also has something important on this page. She has a list. Moms and dads make lists for all kinds of sorts of things. You might know one is a grocery list. But this is Lily's list. It says things to do. Draw a bear. Drive to the moon. Drink hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. Polish stars. Polish stars. Jump really very high. And her last one, number 6, find a baby unicorn. That's a very good list. So Bear put on his doctor's hat and stethoscope and listened. It was clear to Bear what was wrong. Lilly had grumpy feet. Look at Lilly, she's looking at her feet. Have you ever had grumpy feet? I know I have. Let's see how they fixed it. Bear thought it would help if Lily wore happy shoes. See them making happy shoes? But things still felt frumpy and bumpy, just not so and not quite right. Lily's feet were still grumpy. Bear thought it might help if Lily had some sticky cake. But Lily's feet were still grumpy. Lily took her grumpy feet to sit in the toy box. Bear looked at Lily's list and had a marvelous idea. He set to work immediately. What do you think he's doing with her list? Let's find out. Bear squeezed into the toy box next to Lily and started the engine. "Where are we going?" asked Lily. Bear drove past the rainy day, dribbly teapot and missing sunshine color, past the pointy pencils, slushy paint, and stubby crayons, past the happy shoes and sticky fishy cake, to a place that glows all comfy, not frumpy and bumpy. It's just very so and just quite right, said Bear, just as they drove into the starry night. They drank hot chocolate and polished the stars. Then Bear played a happy moon tune on his banjo. Lily's feet started to tap and smile. Lily's feet started to wiggle and giggle. Lily's feet started to laugh and jump, really very high. Bear had turned the grumps into the jumps. There was only one thing left to do, number 6 on Lily's list. Find a baby unicorn. And that's just what they did. The end. See, Bear helps Miss Lily finish her list, and that's what made her happy in the end. That helped her little grumpy feet go away. I hope you guys enjoyed this book. It's one of my favorites to read with my little girl. I will see you guys for the next story. Have a good day.